Ooh, do I have a story to tell you? So, this isn't too crazy of a story, but this is something that just happened freaking last weekend. Okay, so I just get done with recording the most recent Last of Us episode, right? I'm downstairs on my other computer doing some other stuff. My gaming computer upstairs is finishing up some processing. It gets done with that processing. So I have an idea of something that I want to do real quick, but I have to use my gaming computer, my big boy, to do this idea. So my gaming computer was asleep at the time. I go upstairs to wake it up. Like I said, I just got done using this computer maybe like a couple hours ago because of recording The Last of Us. And for some reason, I wiggle the mouse, it doesn't come on. Sometimes this happens because when I have the PlayStation hooked up and it's on, and then I have the computer like on standby and I wake it up, sometimes the display doesn't come on. So I'll usually have to restart the computer and then make sure that the PlayStation is asleep, turn it back on, and then boom, display comes on. So I'm thinking, oh, it's just one of those situations again. I do that. Doesn't turn on. Thinking, what the heck, man? Right? Like usually this works. I'm gonna try it again. Nothing happens. So just to be sure, I turn off the computer again. I go check out all the connections, even though, I just used it a few hours prior. Check out the connections. Everything's connected. It's good. I unplugged some stuff, reconnected just to be sure, Turn it on again. Still nothing. So by this time, I'm starting to smell a burnt plastic smell in the air. That is alarming, right? But then I'm thinking I do smell this sometimes on a lesser degree because gaming computers, they run hot. They get fucking hot from all the shit that's happening inside. But then it becomes even more distinct. Not even just like that warmed up plastic smell, but like literally something burning. So now I'm freaking out like in my head. I'm not just spazzing out and just but I'm freaking out in my head now. I'm thinking what the fuck is going on? So I turn the computer off again. I take off the panel. I'm over here just searching with my nose, and it's not the best of lighting in my room, so I can only kind of see like the little wisps of smoke. So I'm over here smelling, trying to narrow it down, and to me it kind of seemed like it was by the GPU. That's where the burning smell was coming from. I start to Google it because I don't really know much about computers like in depth, So I wanted to see what do people say when you start smelling this burning smell, what does that usually indicate, or what could be the possible indicators? And one thing that people were saying was obviously the GPU could be burnt out, the processor, the motherboard, or even just a simple thing like one of the fans went out on the GPU. So I'm thinking hey, that's a little fix right there. A little fan probably doesn't cost that much. So this is where I was kind of hesitant on doing this, but I'm like, maybe I should turn it on just one more time and look at the fans. Can't do no harm, right? Even though there was other people that commented do not turn on the computer again. Just kill the power and have somebody look at it or something and get it diagnosed. So like I said, I was hesitant. I turned it on again. And then I'm over here ready to fucking investigate a little bit more with my eyes, my ears, and my nose. This time there was nothing happening. The computer wasn't even turning on. It wasn't even allowing the power to run through it. So now I am freaking out. Now I am just fucking freaking the heck out. I'm thinking dude, am I going to have to completely replace the GPU? The processor? Is the motherboard now completely fucked? Do I have to get a whole new computer? And it's obviously, this shit isn't cheap, okay? And I don't have a new computer that's the freaking next gen now shit. The stuff I have is a bit older. So it's a little cheaper, but it's still expensive. Things still cost a few hundreds of dollars. It's, still not inexpensive, a little bit cheaper. But then there's also kind of a supply issue because these parts aren't being made anymore. So there's a lack of supply. But still, now I'm thinking the worst of the worst. I had hopes at first, but now I am thinking the worst. And it just ruined my day, to be honest. Like as soon as that shit happened, I was bummed out. And it actually, in that video of The Last of Us, I was talking about like, oh yeah, you know, I slept, I'm energetic now, like I'm ready to do a better job in commentating because compared to the one before that, it was like super late at night and I was very, very tired. But anyways, so I schedule an appointment to have my computer looked at because I can install some parts, maybe some parts that I shouldn't exactly be installing myself, but diagnosing, that's a whole nother thing. I don't know what the hell I'm doing or looking at. I don't have the tools for diagnosing. So I schedule an appointment to get the computer looked at. The next day, I drop off the computer and I'm told a few things that it could be this, if not this, could be this, if not, could be this. Let's hope it's not this. So a few hours go by. I get a call. One thing that the tech was saying was when they actually opened it up and they were looking at the power supply, one of the little components on that, it, like clear as day, was burnt the hell out. Literally was burnt out. So they're like, hey, we may have found the culprit. Your power supply literally got burnt out. So here's this, blah, blah, blah. I chose the one that I wanted to have installed. Fuck you. They said they'd give me a call once that was installed and they tested it out to see if everything was A-okay. Whatever. So then a few hours go by. They put in the power supply. They test out the GPU. It was okay. Problem with the motherboard now. Really, man? So of course, I'm feeling like one problem after another. What the fuck, man? So of course, the things that I'm being told, giving me little sales pitches and shit, which I can appreciate because I had to do that once upon a time, you know, I get it. But the last thing that I want to do is buy a whole new upgraded motherboard, because then I'm going to have to buy a whole new processor, a whole new GPU. The freaking power, well, no, the power supply would be fine because it could be installed with the new shit that I'd have to buy. So I'm being pitched this stuff. And I'm like, no, dude, like if I get a new motherboard, I'm going to have to buy all this new stuff and then it's going to start getting very expensive. Do you guys have like the motherboard that I have in stock, or do you have to order one? Can we go that route? Sure enough, I mean, yeah, we could go that route. But then that's where we get into the whole thing about older parts that I use. They don't have anything like that. The guy was actually cool enough to look up online, Amazon, and actually found that part through like a whole nother whatever third party dealer. But the thing is that now I obviously have to be the one to buy it, to get it. So now it's not like, oh, my computer, I was hoping, because at the time it was like, what, fucking Friday, I think it was. So I was hoping that I would be able to get the computer taken care of so then I can get my recording done and actually have a few extra episodes of like The Last of Us. This week, not going to have any of The Last of Us episodes. I got a few other episodes of things, but just not The Last of Us. So that was my hope. I was hoping to get the computer fixed and taken care of during the weekend so then I could at least record some shit. No, wasn't the case. I had to order the part, and then that part wasn't even going to be there until a week goes by. So now I'm sitting on my ass waiting for this motherboard to come. And sure enough, it came a little earlier than expected. I actually wasn't even supposed to get the part until a couple days from now. So cut to me heading back to the tech, dropping off the motherboard. Good thing that I didn't have to set up an appointment just to come drop off parts. They said, hey, you could just come in, swing by, drop off the freaking thing, the motherboard, and then we'll get to it as soon as we can get to it. Few hours go by from then. I get a call. We connected the motherboard. We connected the processor. We put it all back together. It's not working. We connected to one of our other motherboards that we know works. It works. So we're going to have to pretty much put all of your parts in individual bags, leave it all disconnected, and you can come by and pick it up, and we're going to close out your work order. The absolute worst news that I want to hear. This part that I was even fortunate enough to come across is defective. But on top of it, now my computer is just taken apart, and I'm going to get it piece by piece. And then I need to figure out what the fuck I'm going to do from there. So now I'm heated now. And I understand what the guy is saying. He's just like, we checked it out. It doesn't work. So, there's nothing more that we can do, which is actually kind of pissed me off because it was like, well, couldn't I just look for another one and then order it and bring it in? Why are you telling me that you're going to bag it up and I need to come pick it up today? Like, there wasn't even that little fucking back and forth about, well, this is what you could do. They just like, we tried, doesn't work, come get your shit, basically. But those are thoughts that was like after the fact. Like during it, I'm like understanding, I'm respectful, and I'm like, all right, man, like I get it. But those were thoughts afterwards, and I was fucking pissed with that. And then just like, I have a broken computer. So then I'm thinking like, I started looking around again for like the part, and I'm having no luck now. I've only found probably like a couple places that even offer this motherboard. So I'm thinking like, and the other place wanted way more than what I initially bought it from the original place that I actually got it from. So I'm thinking like, I am not going to spend like a few $100s more to get that same motherboard and then spend the time to like get it. And then also I just didn't want to talk to the people anymore to like set up another thing to have them put it together because I was just annoyed with them. So I was just like, I don't even want to fucking talk to them. So I literally started shopping for a new computer. I found a new computer. I bought that computer. Yeah, I bought it. Nice. A few grand. Dude. I didn't want to have to do that. That was something like I'm trying to keep money saved, trying to keep debt down. Jesus. I am so freaking pissed. But then again, I am excited now because I have this new computer coming. And it's obviously has the bells and whistles are now recent things. They're nowadays things. So I'm excited about that. I'm like, hell yeah. Now I actually have shit that is considered new and not older components, I guess, if you want to say that. I do not know how to talk tech in a way when it comes to computer shit because I don't know much about that stuff. So like an hour later, it's like always like an hour later, a few hours later. But sometime later, I get another call. It's from the people that have my computer. Like, I got some good news. Like, good news? Like, what the fuck could be good news after the shit that you guys have already told me? Turns out we missed this little part to connect and everything. And actually, everything fires up and it runs A-okay. It's good to go. I'm super excited now because it's like, yeah, like I don't have to spend all that money on this new computer. That's good. Let me get my computer back. And then everything can kind of go back to normal. Until some other fucking thing breaks on it sometime down the road. But let's not worry about that right now. So I'm like, heck yes. Can I come get it right now? And they're like, heck yeah, man, come on down, pick it up. We'll close out the ticket, blah, blah, blah. Get you on your way. You can take your computer home and all that good stuff. And so excited for that. Even though, I'm losing out on the new computer and all of the little new features that got. But my computer does the job. I don't have any issues with it besides it literally burning up. But hopefully, the motherboard's still the same motherboard, but I got a better power supply. So hopefully that works out a little bit better. I don't know. Maybe the connecting of the shit that I did connect was a little off. Maybe they connected it better. I don't fucking know, man. But either way, getting my original computer back with a few upgraded parts, not having to spend the amount of money that I was prepared to spend for a new computer. Like obviously when they told me that part was defective, the motherboard, I instantly got on to Amazon and like started issuing that return process and all that good shit. So like I got back on Amazon, I canceled the return. I went to the website where I was buying the new computer, cancel that order, and luckily it was all within that small window of time where I was able to be refunded the full amount of money and all that good shit. Because then to lose out on this, just because some people made a little slight fucking mistake and then screw me out of a little bit of money. Like, oh, dude, that would have sucked so bad. But I was able to get all of my money refunded. I was able to cancel the return. I am so happy at that moment. And now happy right now that everything is good to go. I brought it home, turned it on, fired it up, see how everything was. It was running good. Hopefully I don't run into some issue like that here in the future. I don't know what that could have been. I don't know what that is, but obviously the power was too much for it. See, I don't know about these things, so I don't exactly know how to describe it, how to say it, what I think, blah, blah, blah. All I know is that the fucking power supply got too hot, or a part on the PSU got too hot. It burned up. It fucked up. It apparently damaged my motherboard. I don't know. That's the case. Things have been replaced. Things have been upgraded. Hopefully I don't run into some shit like that anytime soon. Please let it be like another, what? I think I had this computer for like a couple years now. Hopefully it stays like that. And next time something happens, honestly, like I'm ready to upgrade just because of being stuck with old parts. I'd rather just upgrade to something new, you know? But that's the story, man. That was this freaking crazy. Just like it's the back and forth, the unfortunate, this timing of it. Just, you know, you're trying to do your recordings and everything. Luckily, I was able to get last week's recordings all taken care of. And it was literally like the last thing that I recorded. But then, like I said, the back and forth, like, please be this issue. Well, we upgraded that. We're still having another issue. Okay. What can I do? Well, you can do this, but you got to do this, and then you got to wait for it to come, and then when you get it, come and bring it to us. Okay, fucking do that, bring it to you, and then you making a mistake, and then thinking that, like, oh, nope, it's defective. Oh, and that's another thing. Gotta keep missing little details. If the guy that I was talking to at least was cool, that he either just like low key was trying to actually help me out, even though some things kind of went against their rules. But apparently when a product from Amazon, like if it's something third party bought and then had like bringing that part in for them to install, if it's not factory sealed and in brand new condition, they're not supposed to touch it apparently. And I didn't know that. The guy didn't tell that to me. So either he forgot or he was just trying to help me out and was just like, fuck it. This was a new thing, which it still had like all of everything that came with it, the box, everything that was supposed to be there, except for the fact that it wasn't just like sealed shut. But anyways, the boss of the guy who I was talking to emailed me and said like, hey, I understand that this was communicated to you that we would do this for you. We're not supposed to, but since it was communicated, we will do it. So luckily that happened, because then that would have been a whole nother fucking curveball. You know, I wouldn't have been able to find I probably would have been able to find a brand new motherboard, but it would have been just a very expensive one. So that was a whole nother thing. But then them fucking up and not connecting it properly and then thinking that it was defective, and then me going through the motions and the emotions of getting a new computer, setting up a return, ready to send that shit back off, and then just thinking like, now I'm spending all this money out of my pocket. But then all of that coming back full circle, them realizing the mistake. Thank you for at least thinking about it still and not just totally disregarding it and being like, well, we tried. And then catching it and figuring out that, hey, this is actually fine. It works. Call the guy, let him know. And it's funny because when I get excited, I just let swear words slip. So I'm talking to this guy who's trying to be professional, you know, customer service on the phone. And I'm like, dude, I just fucking ordered a brand new computer. This shit's fucking like, blah, blah, blah. So, like, but that's just me. That's just how I grew up. That's just how I talk. Whatever. So that's my story. Like I already freaking said. That's a little situation that happened to me last weekend. Wasn't able to record any Last of Us episodes, but I still have some content for the week. And then this weekend, get back to recording some more of the Last of Us episodes with some other video games. But that is all I'm going to say for now. Thank you for actually watching this video, listening to my rant, my story. But I'm going to end it right here, man. So I guess goodbye. Toodaloo.